Pierce Atwood's Government Relations Practice Group is really unique because we have some very deep relationships with both parties in the state of Maine. And to really have an effective practice group, you need that. If you're lined up on one side of the aisle when the elections change power, as they often do, you're going to be left on a little high and dry trying to have relationships with people who you don't have relationships with. So one of the benefits I think that a firm like ours provides to clients is that we have those relationships on both sides of the aisle. And really, it's not even as bifurcated as that. All five of us have great relationships with all of the legislators on both sides of the aisle, and you really work to cultivate that and to make sure that regardless of who the person is or what the issue is, we're going to have a way to convey information to that client, for that client to that legislator. Because at the end of the day, I don't come from the practice that lobbyists are out there twisting people's arms and shoving them up against a wall and telling them how to vote. I'm sure there are lobbyists out there who do that. I don't, and no one I know in this practice group does that. But what you want at the end of the day is the opportunity to tell that legislator what your client's concerns are or interests are with a particular piece of legislation. And if you can do that, if you actually have a chance to sit down with a legislator and say, look, this bill is good or this bill is bad and here are the reasons why, or you should change this language and here are the reasons why. At least if they hear you out, that's the most that any client could expect from a government relations practice group. And the idea really is that your client's issue carries the day because you've done an effective job in making sure people understand how that piece of legislation affects that client.